What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to be doing another test with a bunch of fishy rods. So the fishy rods I'm going to be using today is going to be the Tryhard rod, the Elder Moss rod, the Wind Elemental, the Evil Pitchfork, the Polaris rod, and finally the Sarafic rod. Surprisingly, with the Sarafic rod, there was a lot of people telling me to use it, and to use this fishy rod, I had to use a bunch of exalted and cosmic relics. I'm going to be honest, with the Elder Moss rod, I'm hoping we make a lot of money, because if you guys don't know, before the update, you were able to make between 30 to 40 million. Matter of fact, you're making closer to $40 million. Like, I think for me, on average, I was making $37 million an hour. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, I'm making a lot of money. Now I could afford the black market. And what's crazy too, I was told by a lot of people they were not going to nerf it. But of course, eventually they did nerf it, but now we're going to retry it. I believe the last time I tried it, I was making $7.8 million an hour. And yeah, from 37 million to 7.8, that's a massive drop off. And hopefully with the new buff, we make some more money. And that's why for the first fishy rod of the video, I'm going to be using the Elder Moss rod. And I'm just saying, with the new buff, the fishy rod is once again good. It's not as good as before. Before it was really overpowered for money, but now it's usable. So on average with the Elder Moss rod, I was making $18.6 million an hour. So we went from 37 million to 7.8 million to $18.6 million. And because we're making that much money, it's kind of equal to other endgame rods. Now for enchantments, I was using the Blessed Song enchantment with the glittered enchantment. With the Blessed Song enchantment, you catch fish so much faster. I think it's worth using. But on the other hand, with glittered, you make extra money with it, because with this fishy rod, you have a passive that makes the fish really big already. So that's why having Sea Overload or Sea Prince is not necessary at all. Now I'm gonna be honest, I wish with this fishy rod we made at least $25 million an hour, because you have to keep in mind, to get this fishy rod, it takes you a very long time. Like, I think for me to get the Shrouded mutation, it took me over 10 hours, and that's only because I got really lucky. I know some people trying to get that mutation kept getting Crimson or Spirit, and when you get Spirit, I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt a little bit. The funny thing about it, I did get the Spirit mutation, but right after I got Shrouded. So yeah, as you can say, I got pretty lucky. But also in the end, I spent a lot of money. But yeah, Elder Moss rod after the buff, it's a really good fishy rod still. But now for the next fishy rod on the list is gonna be the Tryhard rod. One thing about this fishy rod, before I tell you guys how much money I made, it's a very tedious rod. Like, I believe out of 10 catches, you're gonna drop at least 2 to 3. Because even with the cryogenic enchantment, I'm telling you right now, those fish will resist a lot. Now for this fishy rod, for the enchantments, I use Herculean and cryogenic. And I'm gonna be honest, for money, those two are very necessary. But while using the Tryhard rod, I was dropping a lot of fish intentionally. Because to be honest, with this fishy rod, it's so much better to catch mythical or exotic fish. So if I sold a common or legendary fish, that fish was getting dropped every single time. I mean, even for the mythical fish, you could drop them as well, because the exotic makes so much more money. And also right now, the Tryhard mutation makes the most money in the game. So on average with the Tryhard rod, I made $17.8 million an hour. And I just gotta say something, I could have made way more money, because some moments I would drop every single fish that wasn't exotic, and some moments I would catch every single one of them. So I feel like with that, it kind of messed up how much money I made per hour. And that's why I think you could easily make over $20 million an hour. Now, would I use a Tryhard rod to make money? Probably not. Only because there's other fishy rods you couldn't make $20 million an hour with. And the next fishy rod on the list is gonna be the Evil Pitchfork. And to be honest, with this fishy rod, it went crazy. Like, the last time I used it, I made between 14 or $15 million an hour. But now with that fishy rod, I made on average $22.8 million an hour. But even though I made way more money, there was a few different things happening. So for enchantments, I changed them up a little bit. So the combination I used was the Herculean enchantment with the glittered enchantment. And with the glittered enchantment, you make so much more money. Now, the last time I did that test, I was using Overclock. And to be honest, Overclock is only good for admin events. But when it comes to making money, definitely use glittered. But there is one more thing that happened as well. For some reason, this time, the Evil Pitchfork's passive was happening like crazy. Like, I'm not even joking, every time I saw a hammerhead shark, it would get the passive. And that alone boosted my money to the max. So for me in general, it's between the Elder Moss rod or the Evil Pitchfork. And to be honest, if I want to make fast money, I might go with the Evil Pitchfork. But if I want to chill a little bit more, definitely Elder Moss rod. So yeah, no idea what happened to that fishy rod after the update. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. I think it's really good. And I'm pretty sure to get the Evil Pitchfork, it's way easier than getting the Elder Moss rod. I feel like it would take way less time, but who knows? I gotta see that later. But anyways, now for the next fishy rod on the list. And for the next fishy rod, we have the Wind Elemental. And to be honest, even before, I thought this fishy rod was not that good for making money. But you know what? It's better I test it out to make sure. Now, before I say how much money you could make with this fishy rod, there's one thing you have to understand. This fishy rod gets a big buff during a windy weather. And surprisingly, that makes you way less money. Let me explain. So if you guys didn't know, for these tests, I always use in a row a totem. But you know what? I was like, maybe if I use the Windset totem, I'll make more money. And it turns out I was completely wrong. So basically, when you turn it to a windy weather, you're gonna be relying on the fishy rod's luck. And that fishy rod does have a really high luck. I'm pretty sure right now it's like top 5 with the most luck in the game. But even with the high luck, you're not getting that many mythical and exotic fishes. Don't even think about getting a secret fish, you're not gonna get it. And no joke, after half an hour, I got straight common fish. And I can't believe that's even possible. I mean, yeah, here and there I got a legendary fish, but I don't count that. But now with the Wind Elemental, on average, I made $6.9 million an hour. And what makes it even crazier, to get this fishy rod, it takes a mission. So yeah, I'm not really sure if it's worth using it at all or trying to even get it. I mean, to be fair, it is really good during the admin events. Like for example, that event, what is it called again? I think it's called Secret Storm. Every time you get a Secret Storm, always use a Wind Elemental. And if you turn it windy, you're gonna get a big progress speed boost. Like I'm pretty sure the Moby becomes a -20 or -30% progress speed. In the last time we had an admin event, I caught like 4 Mobies really fast. So I'm just saying, I think that's worth using the Wind Elemental for. So let me know what you guys think about that fishy rod, but now we're gonna move on. And for the next fishy rod, I'm gonna be using the Sarafic rod. Now for this fishy rod, I had to change all my enchantments. So the enchantments I used for this fishy rod, I had the Blessed Song with the Sea Prince. And I think that combination makes you the most amount of money with this fishy rod. But on average with the Sarafic rod, I made $8.7 million an hour. And the one thing I like about this fishy rod, the money is very consistent. And also one thing I forgot to mention with the other fishy rods is that secret fish. As you guys know, at the Castaway Cliffs, we have the Gold Curse Shark. And getting that shark alone every single hour will make you way more money. But to be honest, it's kind of rare. Like the only fishy rod that I get it consistently with is a Moss Ripper rod. But if you were to get it here and there with other fishy rods, you can add like $2 million. So the Sarafic rod could easily make $10 million an hour with good luck. So yeah, really good fishy rod to this day, but getting those relics, I don't know. If it's the best fishy rod you have, I think it's worth using those relics on it. But anyways, now for the last fishy rod of the video. And for the final fishy rod, I use a Polaris rod. And as you guys know, it's an admin rod, it's going to be really good. And to be honest with this fishy rod, it's good for everything. You could use it in admin events, you could use it for money, XP, whatever you want to use it for. But on average with the Polaris rod, I made $17.6 million an hour. And I'm pretty sure last time I made about 18 or 19, something like that. But besides that, this fishy rod is consistent money, really good. Not gonna lie though, there was a few hours I made less than average. And I'm not really sure why though, I can't remember the reason for that. Matter of fact, I think later today I'm gonna go test it out again. But still, an admin rod making a lot of money, it should be reasonable. Now if they nerfed it, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you it got nerfed. But I think for me, the fishy rod I'm gonna be using is gonna be the evil pitchfork rod. You just make so much more money, it's so nice. And on top of that, if you pull overclocked on it, you can use it for admin events. But let's say for example, it's your main fishy rod, I'd rather have overclocked on it, because most likely you won't have that many cosmic relics to be switching it back and forth. So Herculean and overclock are really good options to have. But on the other hand, with the other Moss Ripper rod, it's a really good one too. It's definitely way easy to fish with that fishy rod. But yeah, it's pretty much all I got for today. Let me know which fishy rod you guys are gonna use for money. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.